I imagine that somewhere out there in the infinite cosmos there is a version of Collateral beauty that is actually pretty well thought of. It stars a cast most directors would kill for: Will Smith making his biennial attempt for an Oscar alongside Dame Helen Mirren, Keira Knightley, Edward Norton, Naomi Harris and Kate Winslet amongst others, who all fancy the idea of a movie that will be on every Christmas from now until the end of the universe. Its plot about a man broken by the death of his 6-year-old daughter who writes angry letters to death, love and time only for them to turn up and try to help him heal, in a similar vein to Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, might not be terribly original, but it would make its target audience cry, and if not garner the Oscar buzz that Smith so clearly wants, then at least a nomination for something. Sadly, that wasn't what I sat and watched just a few hours after yet another turkey sandwich. What I got was the first film this year where I left feeling in desperate need of decontamination. Because that film is in there somewhere, but instead of being the central or indeed only focus of this film, Smith's character is treated more as an obstacle or plot device than a man who is in desperate need of help. Because, spoiler warning, love, death and time are actually played by jobbing actors who have been hired by his work colleagues to force him into a mental breakdown so they can force him to sell his shares in an advertising company. Now, if this sounds like a massive spoiler, it's not. This is actually spelt out explicitly in the first 20 minutes, and when Keira's character voices her objections to this plan, it's treated like a bump in the road, something that's overcome very quickly so that this 97-minute comedy for sadists can continue polluting the silver screen. Because if that plot point had been removed or left ambiguous so that the audience could make up its own mind, then this film might have been somewhat tolerable. As it is, I found it completely morally repugnant. But even leaving that aside, there's nothing really here to sink your teeth into. We never see Smith's daughter, or even get a chance to know him before she dies, and come to think of it, we never get a chance to know him or any other character afterwards either. With some slight tweaks, this could have been a jukebox film on the themes of love, death and time. Even a pair of plot twists in the last 10 minutes were painfully obvious from the first 20 minutes, so you couldn't even lose yourself in the narrative. The filming was average, the soundtrack was completely bland, save for everybody actually thinking they were in a film that was going to generate award buzz than this thing. It was going for heartstrings and wound up making me feel ill. I found it unremarkably filmed, shot and scored, but even the surprisingly good acting cannot save the sheer revulsion I have at this film's central plot. There is a good film in here, but do not see this film under any circumstances. Fire. Avoid it. Burn it. And what's been the film this year that's most turned your stomach? Not gore and horror, but the film that you have found the most repugnant. I'm Daniel, this has been a Dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.